we have a new addition to the Kirby crew, and that is... Oh Lord, he coming! Oh Lord, he coming! Let's do a little walk. He just look at him. He's got these little feeties, you know. He just walks. Look at him. He's coming at you. You're running. He's like, oh snap, oh snap. He's coming. He's coming. Oh snap. He's all he's real squishy. Woo! Woo. He's extremely huggable. Like, oh my god. This is a good one. This is a good sized Kirby, just like the other one, the Absolute Unit one. I might have a problem. Welcome back, friends. LostScarf here, and it's time for a real quick vlog because I got things I need to do, like hit the gym. Yes, the gym. This episode's not brought to you by this, but I have the shirt, so whatever. I wonder how they're gonna feel with me walking in with this. I'm gonna meet with a personal trainer, so we'll see how that goes. So what are we talking about? We're talking about Apex, and I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. So, quick vlog. Let's talk about Apex Legends. So, it has blown the hell up, and I worry about it getting overhyped and then dying because it's a Titanfall game. I really worry about it. Every game by Respawn, it's amazing, and then it dies. It's amazing, and then it dies. It's amazing, and then it dies. Maybe if you don't have the name Titanfall in it, it'll succeed. Because they've made 3 Titanfall games. The phone game was actually really good. But each one did great and then just died. Each one. So, Apex Legends takes place in the same universe as Titanfall, but it's not Titanfall. And it's looking good right now. So they keep saying all these big numbers. So EA has been just tanking in stock. They've been tanking in stock. But as of yesterday, the stock rose up even higher because of Apex Legends. It's doing really well. And it's because they're hyping it up. They're saying they've had 10 million downloads. They're saying they have 1 million concurrent players. They're saying all these things. And the stocks are speculation, so if you say a lot of hype and people buy into it, they'll buy stock, which will put it up. And that's how it works. The thing is, there's always a chance EA is lying, or they're just hyping themselves up with some jiggering and saying different things to say what's concurrent and how many downloads they got. Like, how many downloads does not say how many people have actually played the game, and things like that. It's advertising. It is messing with just what the facts are with statistics and everything, to give yourself a better picture. It's really what you're always doing. That's why statistics are so insidious, is you got to be careful about them, because people can do whatever they want with what they're saying, and a lot of times it's not true, as is very obvious in America lately, or all of our existence actually in America, because we bullshit stats all the time. But yeah, so who knows if this is really truthful, if the numbers get audited at some point, and it's just really inaccurate, that stock's going right back down. And it's just interesting to see how this is really blown up. But it's literally only been, at this point, 5-6 days. It's only been 5-6 days. People are like, Fortnite killer, or, like, again, this is saving EA, and all those things. Like, well, couple things. One is, it's only been a week. It hasn't even been a week yet. It's a Titanfall game, like I said earlier. And another one is, holy crap, people are making tier lists right now, and that is the most foolish thing. As someone who likes making guides and just likes analyzing games, it is so foolish to make a tier list right now. They're like, what's the best weapon? What's the best character? And just tiering it up. I'm like, no. That will have some effect on things. Weapons will have some effect. Characters will have some effect. But it's about the player. It's about how good the player is, and with what they're working with. Because the difference between Apex Legends and Fortnite and PUBG and those is because it's also a hero shooter. So you have abilities. And what abilities does is it gives different play styles and different ways to do things. And different people thrive in different play styles. That's the truth of it. Someone like Ninja, who's just amazing at Fortnite, in this one specific style of game where you have different styles you can play in it, but everyone's the same in that thing. Not everyone's the same character in Apex Legends, and so different players are going to thrive with different characters. And so Ninja could come in and have a lot of fun with the game, but he'll have specific characters he's good with. He's not going to beat you with every single character. But the thing is, the pure gunplay itself is something he could beat you on, though, because everyone has the same gunplay. It's just different abilities to affect your different tactics. And that's the part where different people are going to thrive better than others depending on the character. Because you have a passive ability, a special ability, and your ultimate, and those can make a big difference in how things work out. And just understanding how to work around those things, how to fight those things, is good. It makes the game deeper and more interesting than, say, PUBG and then Fortnite, because there's just different things to consider and worry about. And the fact everyone can climb buildings, everyone's Spider-Man in a way, so they can climb buildings pretty well, and there's no fall damage, things like that. Different things to consider and think about in Apex Legends makes it a worthwhile game to play. And I like the ping system. I think it's not bad. I think it can be made better. I think Smite still has the best non-VoIP communication system, and if any other game can just take that and do more with it, it'd be amazing. And so if that ever happens with this game, I think it'd be even better, because there's some things where there's not a lot. I've already beat one with a team without using VoIP, and this is the thing, because I prefer to play without VoIP because I'm tired of racism, I'm tired of bigotry, I'm tired of sexism, I'm just tired of all that stuff. And you hear that a lot when you have voice on, and I just don't want to deal with it. I will only do voice if I'm playing with viewers, if I'm playing with friends. That's the only way. I will not do it with randos, because it's happened too many times. You touch the fire too many times. That's what's happened. I've learned my lesson. Randos suck. I ain't gonna deal with that. Of course, I won with randos, because of course, but we did it without the VoIP. We did it without that. We used pinging, and I was just amazing. That's how it works. When you play support, you don't really need communication. You just need to save the other two people. And I was doing it. It was a good feeling. It was a real good feeling. I was playing Gibraltar, those of you who play the game. So, it's teams of 3. Apparently this whole vlog's going to be about Apex Legends. So your teams of 3. We got to do a one-shot in this game, so I'm going to explain this again in that. But your teams of 3. And it's random order who gets to pick their characters first. You've got, like, attacking style characters, you got defensive characters, you got supportive characters, scout types. There's like 4 types, kind of, at the moment. Like, there's a guy who has like 8 meter vision, which isn't very far, but he can at least see a little bit around them. And so he's the scout, so he can at least give you some idea what's going on. He can also see traps, which I didn't know there were traps in this. I haven't run into any. Then there is just the people who just fight. Like, there's a Wraith girl, and her fighting is, her passive is she hears voices when enemies are nearby, which that's interesting. She has the ability to just go invisible and go intangible. I don't know if she's intangible. She goes invisible. I don't know if she's intangible, though. I don't know if she can get damage during that point. And then her ultimate is, she makes a portal. She makes 2 portals, like Janice back in Smite. She makes a portal here and a portal there, and you can just go between the two of them for 60 seconds. So this is a way to kind of scout, where you got a portal here and a portal there. You go in, you see if there's any enemies, and then you portal back out. Or your whole team comes in, kills a bunch of enemies, or hurts them, and runs out before they get killed. Like, that's things you can do with that. That's interesting implications there. A character called Pathfinder, his ability is like a hookshot, so he can go up to higher terrain and just get around. And then his ultimate is, he just makes a hookshot for everyone. So he makes where he is, and then somewhere in the distance, and then everyone can just go on rails on it to the next location. So he's very much maneuverability. Of course, you've got a healer. And here's something I find very interesting about the balance of things, like healing and shields. So the healer girl, she puts down a healing bot, and it heals indiscriminately. So if your enemies are near the thing too, it could heal them. So it's very interesting how that works out. There's a guy named Gibraltar, and he's a Maori warrior, and he's my favorite so far. He puts down a shield dome, so think like, what's the gorilla's name? Big Gorilla. Big Gorilla. Big Gorilla. What is his name? Winston. So Winston's got his dome, right? And so in this version of it, the dome goes down. There's no damage threshold on it. It's there for a set amount of time as far as I can tell. Damage can't go into it, and damage can't come out of it. Which means you can't just put it down and fight from it. So your enemies have to come in, or you have to go out to do more fighting. That's very interesting. So I've been using it as a protected dome. I put the dome around me, and I go in and res a teammate, and if an enemy gets cute and tries to sneak up for a shot, I'll just turn around and take them out. But yeah, the thing is, like, I use that as a defensive maneuver to just res somebody. And it's worked out pretty well, but it can backfire because someone can just come in and take you out while you're resing somebody. Because the shield doesn't keep them out or anything like that. So that's pretty interesting right there. And I've just had a lot of fun with the game. I like the characterization. I like the characters. I like that there's just a good variety of characters. Because it's the start, there's only 8 characters. But I like that they're just different kind of people, and they have different backstories to them. They're all very interesting. They're all pretty fun to different extents, and everyone's going to find their playstyles and everything. Like, I had teammates who were just amazing with characters that I just don't really like, and that's a good thing, because you want people to be good at different things, so that's pretty good there. I'm really feeling the Maori guy, Gibraltar. I'm feeling him a lot. And there's a lot of cool characters I want to try out and see if I can get good with them too. But it's just a good game. It's essentially like give it a try, is what I say. It's a pretty fun game. I enjoy it a lot, and I'm going to be playing a lot of it, and I guess I'll put it on the side channel. We'll definitely put a one-shot eventually. After enough hours. We've only put in like 3 hours. I'm going to put in 10 before I go. Here's the one-shots, because then at that point, I have a better understanding of the weapons, I have a better understanding of the characters, of the map, and so that'll be good. It's still, though, a Battle Royale, so there are those boring moments, and there's those fast moments, and there are those moments where you just die at the start and it's miserable. It's the problem with Battle Royales is it's a slot machine. It really is a slot machine Skinner box situation here. Because Fortnite, PUBG, and any of these Battle Royales, including with Apex Legends, is you go in there hoping for a good time, and you get run over, and then you get run over, and then you get run over, and you get run over, you get run over, and it's miserable, 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 miserable. Then you have that one really good run, and then you get all that joy from that, and then you're staying in it. And then you're just going to do more of the slot machine pulls. That's what you're doing. And I got tired of that in PUBG, I got tired of that in Fortnite, and I'm sure I might get tired of that here as well. The thing is, if you're a good player, if you're a better player, you have a better chance, of course, of having more good games. So good for you there. But by mass, the millions of people who play Battle Royales, not everyone's that great. So there's a lot of people who they're just Skinner boxing. They're very much just playing it over and over and over again for that high of the one good game. And that's the insidious part of these Battle Royale games, is that's what that is. And it's very unfortunate. The thing is, there's trends. There's always been trends. It's like there was when the big thing was MMOs. And then after that, the big thing was this. The big thing was that. The big thing was the next thing. That's how it works out. I'm curious what the next thing will be. Like, it was MMOs, and then the biggest one of them all, of course, was WoW, because WoW took a lot of good things from other ones and made them and polished it up, and it was Blizzard, so a lot of backing there already. And then before that, of course, it's probably first-person shooters, you could say, because there's a crap ton of them, to the point that it's now just a normal thing. Like, when games first happened, there were just, of course, all these different novelties and puzzles and all that stuff, but eventually platformers became the thing. Platformers were the trend. Most of the games you saw the Nintendo age were platformers. Nintendo and Game Boy were platformers. And then going forward, eventually, we had just a crap ton of FPS. I think, like, Doom and Wolfenstein were a good part of that. They started the groundwork on it, and then eventually had other ones, and then Halo really blew it the hell up. Of course, there's GoldenEye that really helped out with first-person shooters, but Halo really blew it the hell up. And it's always just been a staple. Same thing with platformers. Platformers were a big thing, then they just became a staple. That's kind of the way it works out. Like, things are just, there's a trend, and then it's just a normal thing. MMOs, they blew up at a time, and then it just became a normal thing, and now we're just seeing not that many MMOs anymore. Same thing goes for MOBAs. It all started out with, where did it start? It started on Warcraft 3, I believe, right? MOBA started on Warcraft 3, and then it became, well, MOBAs. It became Dota. It became League of Legends. It became Dota 2. It became HOTS. It became all these things. And that was a trend. Like, a lot of people, like, and a bunch of companies died trying to make their own MOBAs. Like Dawngate, or Paragon, or, oh god, who else made, there were a bunch of other MOBAs that just didn't make it. There were a couple, and they were kind of fun. Just too bad they didn't make it. Like, they had different problems with them. And, oh my god, speaking of Paragon, if not for Fortnite PvP, oh my god, that company was in a bad spot. Though I really believed in Fortnite PvE. I really believed in that game. I enjoyed it a lot. I spent over 100 hours on that game. But once the PvP happened, that just fell to the wayside. And that's unfortunate, because that was a real gem of a game. It was a very good game, and that's just too bad. It's very unfortunate. Like, they kept saying, we're not going to take any assets away from the PvE. We're going to put it on. We're not going to do that. We're going to have a different team for PvP. And PvP's exploded, and now everyone's forgotten about the PvE. And that's just too bad. It was a really good game. It's a shame what success can do. Just ruins that. But because of the success of Fortnite, we're seeing the Epic Store. And because of the Epic Store, we're seeing exclusivity. So Metro Exodus is the next big buy we're going to have, and that's going to be on the Epic Store because it's not even on Steam. It's exclusive. But to be thankful for that, in the domino effect of things, Epic Store is bringing Journey. So we're going to see an LP of Journey someday, for sure. So there's that as well. So there's things to not be happy about and things to be happy about with that. And yeah, Fortnite. So the Battle Royales are the current trend, and it's going to be interesting to see what comes after that. Like, PUBG just shows up. It wasn't the first one, obviously. There were other games who were doing Battle Royales, and they were getting kind of popular. But then PUBG happens, and it was really popular, really popular. And then Fortnite happens, and it's extremely popular. And we saw other Battle Royales come up, and they've just been okay. And now we got Apex Legends. And the question is, well, is this going to be the one that rivals Fortnite? Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Who knows? It's a lot of jumping to conclusions saying it's a Fortnite killer. Anyone doing that, every time it happens, WoW killer, Fortnite killer, League of Legends killer, mobile, whatever thing, anytime someone says that, don't believe a damn thing they ever say for the next while. Because they need to learn the lesson that hyperbole is stupid. The truth of the matter is, though, in advertising, people love hyperbole. So actually, it works, so screw it. This is the problem. This is the problem with human nature and all that is, we buy into hyperbole so much. So damn much. And also can be used insidiously in that we get all this hyperbole, we get all these high things. These things are saying like, it's very much this thing. And then when it gets down a notch to what it actually is, we still see it as pretty good. Because clearly the lie was this, and this ain't bad compared to what the lie was, so we accept it and it's okay. That's a thing with advertising, and that's why advertising works out so well. Touching on last week, since we're talking about advertising, this is the truth of the matter of, I think, the human nature, and that is, advertising has it right in that the first impression is all it takes. The first thing you say, the first thing you do, the first image someone sees, that is what they're going to have from that point on, and that is insidious as hell. Because if you frame something very negatively, no matter how good it is, like, oh my god, how many things have been framed so badly that people just bought into and they don't actually know the truth, they don't actually understand what they're talking about because it was framed so well against them. We can go with Obamacare for sure. There's that famous instance of, was it 2 years ago at this point, Republicans are trying to get rid of Obamacare, and you have this dude on Facebook, and he's like, yeah, I'm glad they're getting rid of Obamacare. It was a huge mistake, that's crap. And people are like, what? I can't believe you want to get rid of ACA. He's like, this isn't ACA, this is Obamacare. I'm on ACA. I got no problem being on ACA. ACA is great. Obamacare is terrible. And other people are like, wait, what? You don't know they're the same thing? And then they just lay it into them. And it's hilarious and cathartic and all that. But yeah, Obamacare and ACA are the same thing. And yet there were people who bought into it. People who bought into that they were different things, and that Obamacare was a big mistake while they're on the ACA. And this happens many times where you see people in politics, and in anything in life as well, where people are very much against their own interests because of spite or because of just other reasons, not realizing that they're hurting themselves. So there's no way that was the only person on the planet who was against Obamacare that was on ACA, not realizing that they're trying to screw themselves over. There's no way that's the only one. And it's a ridiculous thing. And that is the power of framing. That is the power of advertising something in a specific light and doing it well enough and saying it enough times, which is why people will just believe anything Trump says, because he says it so many times it's got to be true. And any politician can do the same thing, and they have in the past. You say the same thing over and over again, people just believe it to the point that you can base things off lies to become truth. And we see this in so many things. We see it very much in con man work as well. And yeah, that's not good. That's not good at all. It's the weirdest thing when... Here's another one. Now it's about politics for a second. So many poor and middle-class white people are against food stamps. Very much against it, because it's been framed as a thing where minorities and what's the word here? Immigrants are taking advantage of the system to get these things to take care of them. The majority of food stamps is white people. So it's always weird when it's very much just how the framing is used to just have someone screw themselves over. Because what the crap? Like, I don't understand it. One where it's just, there was no way around it, was the coal. Now, the right very much took the side of coal. The left's like, well, we're not going to really help out coal because, alternative energy and all that stuff. Well, the truth of the matter is, coal has suffered so badly under Trump. It's amazingly bad. Like, they've suffered a lot. They are getting punished very hard under Trump's administration, and it's just very unfortunate. Like, they had to vote for him because he said he was going to do things for them, while the Democrats said they weren't going to do anything for them. So they had no choice there. But it has gone very bad for them, extremely so. And so there are some groups where they're just kind of screwed. But while there's also groups that they're just framed, it's a big mess at the end of the day when you think about it. Because of course it is. There are groups who they have no choice but to vote for this in their self-interest. And then there's those who it gets framed in a way that it's for their self-interest when it is not in their self-interest whatsoever. It's a very, very ridiculous thing, a very big mess, and holy crap. And it's really, just the center of it all is, it's advertising, it's framing. That is probably the best way to put it. That is how it is. Just how do you frame something? How does someone see something? And I've talked about this in different instances before. Like, look at this. Look at my background. I'm sure it's not very attractive to have this damaged wall here, or just have no color in the background. Like, really, there's not really much going back there. It's my bed behind me. That's not a very good shot. So there are people who will use that to, like, it's not worth watching this vlog because of this background. Stuff like that. I'm getting as many Kirbys as I can to flood this background, though, because I love Kirby so much. So eventually there's going to be a bunch of Kirbys. Then you have people who just hate Kirby, who they don't need to watch this at all because they hate Kirby. But you're always going to have people who, through framing of whatever, they're going to have their opinions on things. And this is something I learned in college. I just realized. I had this award-winning professor. He had a crap ton of awards for photography. I didn't know the guy, so whatever. I was taking it as an elective. And he was talking about, like, people saying pictures never lie. He's like, no, pictures are the greatest form of lying. Because you can frame it in whatever way you want. I'm like, shit. Because people say, picture's worth 1,000 words. A picture never lies. All these things. And he's like, no. This is the best way to lie. Because you can frame something. You can have things in an angle that will say something. And at a different angle, it'll say something else. And a different lighting, it'll say something else. And it's like, that is the truth of the matter. And the reason why this is all awful, the framing and all that is because how much of us take the time to see the nuance? How much of us takes the time to see the context? How much takes the time to understand the situation? And the truth of the matter is, we don't. We very rarely do. We very much, and it leads into confirmation biases. We see something, if it goes to our bias, we just believe it. If it doesn't go to our bias, we go, that's bullshit. Especially now with the age of fake news being such a cry of being used against whatever's against you. Because of the age we're in now, we're even more distrustful, because if it does not confirm our bias, then we're very sure it's not real. Even if all the things we're biased for are the false things, because we believe this to be real. We're getting to the point where our feelings are the facts, and the facts are not real. That's what's happening, and that's very not good. It's something I touch on, like, often, all the time, I suppose. It's something I've always touched on, and so it is beating an old thing over and over again as well, but it's, as we talk with these vlogs, it is me journeying through thoughts and ideas and philosophies and all these things, and understanding more. And I guess that's where I'm standing right now, where my thoughts are at the moment. That's where it is. And that's it for the vlog. It's time to, Jesus Christ, the time. I gotta hit the gym already. So there you go. That right there is the vlog. I had fun talking about watching and listening. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Having fun. Thanks for coming by, and see you next time.